Warning. Today's episode of Everything vs. Everything contains several instances of strong language, so if there are any children nearby, you may want to plug their ears with cotton wool, even if you're listening on headphones and they're not your children. You can never be too careful these days. On with the show! Hello everyone, and welcome to Everything vs. Everything. It's a mild May evening, and we are sitting down to record a little podcast about everything in the world, and what order it is in, if you try and rank it from best to worst. You might say that's quite a strange and ambitious endeavour, but we're trying.
We are.
And joining me tonight are the esteemed Euan Gilmore.
Hello.
And I've run out of adjectives already.
I'm the only one that deserves adjectives here.
When he got to me, did you notice that?
Not that you two don't deserve adjectives. I was going to give you all the sort of synonym for like esteemed, but I can't think of any more.
Marvellous.
The Gregorious
Marvellous
mark.
Thank you very much.
Yes. And anyway, anyhow with V.
Oh, the vivacious.
Okay.
But vivacious fowl, that sounds lovely. Thank you. I'll try and live up to the name.
Okay, so that's our crew for today. You might recognise them from the last episode. It's almost like we record two of these at once or something.
Ridiculous.
But we don't. It's clearly
Years after the last thing you, Alex. So.
Yeah. Do I even
How you
remember who you are? So let's get into it, shall we? Let's start with the section that I like to call Bring a Thing! Because it is called that. That's why I like to call it that. So this is where everyone brings a thing. It can be anything in the world. It doesn't have to fit the theme of the episode. So where shall we begin today? Anyone aching to talk about something?
I want to go.
Go on, Eva.
I'm going to bring the Eurovision Song Contest.
Oh, well done.
Topical.
Yeah, I love the Eurovision Song Contest. Not everybody does, but I like it a lot because I like all the songs. And they're not necessarily always good songs and not necessarily always bad songs, but I just like I like countries getting together and just having a good sing-song. I think it's quite cool. And you also sometimes learn a bit about other countries from it, and other countries' cultures, sometimes from their videos and their songs.
I have a question.
And then, it's always good to support our
Val, please name 3 things you've learnt about other countries from the Eurovision Song Contest.
Well, I learnt about Poland has butter churns from the Poland butter churning entry.
We all heard that, yes.
That was a while ago.
Oh yeah, the famous Poland butter churning song.
That's what I learnt.
The traditional song.
That was the main thing that we all learnt from that about the butter churns. I learnt that Armenia, ladies in Armenia have very long, big skirts.
Yeah.
They often have big skirts in their entry. And I learned often in the Greece entry they use lots of smoke, so they must like visual effects.
They tend to have very large drums as well in the Greek entry.
Yeah.
Oh,
So there you go, 3 things.
Okay, fine.
Easy. Make it harder.
How did you imagine Poland got butter before you saw this on the Eurovision Song Contest?
It never occurred to me that how Poland got its butter, but it's good to know that they have it. Yeah.
Definitely. Wow.
And there are people making it for them. So but it's inspired lots of big cultural things in our music history. It's got Cliff Richard and his song
Bucks Fizz.
ABBA.
And Lulu. I think Lulu was it.
Lulu,
Yeah.
ABBA's a good shout though.
Gina
ABBA's
G.
for the world, ABBA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, some good things have happened from Eurovision.
And the finest line ever in a song, "Don't let your indecision take you from behind." from Bucks Fizz.
Good old Bucks Fizz.
From Making Your Mind Up, which won in, was it 1980 or thereabouts?
It's a good source of unusual
you should
things
always remember
happening
that.
on stage. There's always at least a crazy act in there. Every year there's
At
least one
Yeah,
that does
the George
something. Something you would not expect. Someone pops out of a box, that kind of thing.
Yeah. I feel it's more a competition to be who's the more bizarre while still singing a song.
That's the important thing. But the bizarre one, well, the ones that I want to win because they're so weird never usually win. What country was it that did The Wolves of the Sea? That's the one that stuck with me over the years. That was it's probably 10 years ago now, but I still remember it fondly. With the high, hoisting the flag to be free. Jolly Rogers go, we are wolves of the sea.
And this didn't win, you say?
No.
I know, it's shocking.
Yeah, I can't remember what country it was even. Yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, there's always some interesting things there, and I feel like UK songs have been pretty not very good in recent years. But
I think we try too hard. We should just be silly and ridiculous like everyone else.
I'm not sure we try at all.
It depends.
I think for the last few years we've sent people who have not even won whichever TV talent show they've been on.
Yeah.
And I don't think that can really be accused of taking it seriously, because it's not.
I guess not. I get maybe there's a small minority that take it very seriously just because it's very a patriotic thing. They kind of twist it around. But I guess if we genuinely sent our best international singer to compete, which is probably Adele right now.
Okay.
Against just other people in Eurovision, she might do well.
Yeah.
You'd hope she'd do okay. We'd see. But yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting thing. But I think I don't mind because the Eurovision Song Contest, I don't feel it's much like a proper it's a serious contest. It's a bit of fun. It's very kind of light entertainment, and it's quite lovely in a sense. And that's what I love about it compared to every other song contest on television ever. I'm talking more kind of nowadays sort of song contests, but they always make it more kind of the stakes are high and people are crying and these terrible life stories they're bringing to the thing about I need this as my last chance and all those kind of stuff. You just feel when did it go back to Eurovision?
And at least it doesn't have any of that rubbish.
Yeah,
it's great.
It is just a song.
It's like someone's jumping out of a bus and all these people are dressed as nuns and yay, hooray for that. So, there's butter churning in the stage. It's brilliant. What else do you need? And they also do some of the actual stage show lighting stuff can be quite cool at points. Can be very impressive. So it isn't just a bit tacky or that. There's actually some cool performances going on.
But I've noticed for the last few years, most years the staging of at least half of the acts is almost identical to the staging of the act that won the year before. That certainly happened with the Swedish one that won 2 years ago. They had the guy walking along and the graphics on the floor and the graphics behind him and stuff like that. And then suddenly the next year, everybody's song was like that. Like they were pretending has nobody seen last year's, you know.
And the voting has a reputation for being very political and not really based on the song as well, doesn't it?
True. That is the downside.
Although if you don't take it seriously, that's not much of an issue, really.
A lot of countries will sort of vote for countries that are neighbouring them generally, which is fine, support your neighbour and that kind of stuff. But again, I don't think one country has ever been the overall winner for a good chunk of time kind of thing. True. It has always changed hands quite a bit.
True. Yeah.
Which other competitions there is almost there's a general favourite or one that always comes out winning each time kind of thing. So that's another good thing about the Eurovision Song Contest is I don't think say Sweden's won it 10 times in a row or that kind of thing. So maybe they have, I don't know.
The voting in itself is a whole nother it's like a whole nother programme happens at the end.
It's totally its own thing,
And all the different reporters it's usually standing in front of some national monument or something that's lit up behind them.
Or standing in front of a photo of a national monument, depending on how much money the national broadcaster has in the country in question.
Yeah.
There's also countries that only seem to exist to me during the Eurovision Song Contest. It just appear that you never really hear about at all afterwards. I'm sorry for those particular countries, but I'm trying to think of the one in particular that always gets said where you're just oh yeah, they're around as well and part of Europe. What's a good one to example?
really want to name countries that I think are irrelevant.
I think you should pause that thought.
I know, but you know what I'm meaning though.
I know what
everyone knows what I'm meaning right here. And I'm sure like some of those countries also think about other stuff and maybe make a joke about it. But yeah, no, I don't mean in terms of like they're unimportant. I guess more like they
you
turn
don't
up
hear
in
much about them in our...
Which, to be honest, is good.
Bubble.
A lot of the countries you do hear stuff about, not always for the best reasons kind of thing, or they're poking their nose into stuff. It's good to be like, just mind your own business and carry on with the day-to-day job.
And just enter the song contest.
Okay.
Exactly.
Well,
that's my point.
Philosophy lesson from you in there. Do we have any idea of where...
Another good point about the Eurovision Song Contest, just before we do the list, another good point about the Eurovision Song Contest is that it inspired the Great Father Ted episode about the Eurovision Song Contest, which of course should boost it in our ratings, because that is one very fine piece of television.
But we are considering the song contest itself and not the Father Ted episode.
In its own merit.
I don't know. We have to sort of think about the ripples. That
it's a factor.
Okay.
It's a factor.
But yeah.
In which case, Terry Wogan.
Terry Wogan.
Got a thing.
Who's doing it now as well?
Graham Norton.
Graham Norton. He does a pretty good job himself.
Right? Doing a great job.
Scott Mills and Mel Goodroich.
Yes, they're there as well.
BBC
yes.
Three thing. Yeah.
I always generally like the hosts they've got as well. Are usually quite good. They maybe have an easy job, but they're just like excited the whole time. Like, hello everyone, hello Luxembourg, all that kind of stuff. It's same old Pat, but at least it's
it's very inclusive, isn't it? Everyone's welcome. Yeah. Everyone can sing. Everyone can enjoy
a nice thing.
themselves.
Yeah, it's a positive thing. I guess.
Is there anything of a con served to any columns at all?
I mean,
sometimes you get nil points, which can be a bit awkward.
Nil point.
But everyone claps at the end, so at least you feel like they appreciate you turning up.
I guess it's not like everyone's not going home with an award, which is probably fine.
Yeah.
Okay, Val, where would you say that you would place it on the list?
I think it's high. It's high.
Really?
I'd say it's under NASA, but before New York.
Wow, that's so very high.
I know.
Eurovision Song Contest is not better than New York. Or Berlin, for that matter. Is it better than a compass?
We had a lot of good points though for Eurovision Song Contest, and nothing really wrong with it.
But I mean, I thought...
It is good.
I was just not saying the bad things because I thought they sort of speak for themselves a little bit. Like
no, I think you need to speak for them now.
But it's just a general sort of... Okay, it's good in a small dose. It's good once a year, but if you were forced to watch it longer than that, it might be considered a form of torture.
But you're not. It's designed to be once a year.
True.
That's its purpose.
It is a good thing that it's only on once a year.
But that's, again,
I guess
it's designed for once a year.
They know the correct dosage of it to put on TV, and
a lot of it is really amateurish. It's incredibly cheap television.
Maybe so.
But that's part of its wonderful magic.
You're claiming that's part of the appeal?
Yeah.
In terms of like cheap television, it's probably some of the best cheap television out there in the world.
It's apparently brilliant value, yes.
So where would you guys put it?
Val was telling me actually, I was going to say above New York as well, just below NASA potentially. But I don't know, maybe...
To use all my grudges for the...
I'll help you, Alex, it's fine.
No, we want to be a bit more kind of realistic with that. Maybe it should be going... Because it is a lovely little thing that the Euro Song Contest... I kind of wish there was like a World Song Contest. It was just as serious, but... As itself
Just
as serious, exactly.
Well, Australia are in it now. So
yeah.
And I think like a silly thing should be high on the list. I don't think silly things should be regulated just because it's silly. I think more silly stuff should be like held up as yay for silly. Maybe around where pangolins are. Maybe around there.
But above having good teeth. It is usually the case that the presenters of the Eurovision Song Contest have good teeth. This is a requirement.
I'm happy for it to be under good teeth as well.
So it's better than Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban?
Yes.
I think I could go along with that.
I'd argue higher.
Well,
I'm still up with NASA.
I would probably put it lower, but I think...
Does anyone know Harry
enthusiasm
Potter's...
in the room.
Does anyone know Harry Potter's opinion on the Eurovision Song Contest? Is
think
that in the canon?
I'm not sure if it's ever mentioned in the books or the films or the play that recently...
If they had it, then maybe Voldemort wouldn't be as unhappy and bad as he is. Maybe if
they had a wizard version of it.
Yeah, little Voldemort, maybe sort of watching Eurovision Wizard Song Contest and think, do you know what? All these bad idea plans, I'm just going to can them and become a singer. I'm going to compete. Who knows?
Maybe.
Maybe.
We can almost speculate on that. I'm fine with putting it above that if that's the mood of the room, and Val is so enthusiastic about it and wants to put it above New York. So
That's not happening.
I feel like I have to
It's
make
not as good as water, but it's
I have to make a compromise and say it's okay, better than Harry Potter 3.
Yeah, okay. Not quite as good as having good teeth.
Put it under having good
Yeah.
I
teeth.
think makes it number 10.
Yay.
Yay for that.
Very good.
Wow.
Get your song. Woo.
I'll jump into the breach.
Okay,
so that's
go on.
great. Alright, I'm bringing curse words to the table.
Whoa.
You're not.
I am.
Wow.
Dang nabbit I am. Yes, curse words. And it's sort of, I guess it covers the whole kind of spectrum of curse words without really naming any names or that. Aye, no, curse words considered interesting. They're a part of like every culture. I think everyone to a certain extent will at some point in their lives use them or will make it a point of themselves never to use them, but they'll be aware of them. It's that kind of thing as well where they have a slight tabooishness. So I think it's weakened a lot over the recent years, and they are kind of, I guess, a little bit forbidden. But there's something empowering about curse words in a sense. Like, if you really want to emphasize something, you'd use a curse word, or potentially you'd use a curse word to sort of make a point or portray like a particular opinion about a person or a place or anything really, wide range of covers. I think they're very useful for us as a society to sort of have. I don't know, there's something that's sort of like almost, it's a release of emotion they have kind of thing. They only cover, I think, like, if you take them technically, like bodily functions, sexual acts, religious terminology, and I think that's about it, which is kind of surprising you think about that that's all that sort of encompassed for something that's English language. Is quite a wide variety of curse words, apparently compared to other languages anyway. So I do think that like back in the day, like I've heard like QI episodes sort of talking about sort of like what old curse words would be like. Irish or Jewish or curse words could be quite elaborate sort of sayings about like how I want you to sort of wither away into nothingness basically sort of thing, which sounds pretty cool in a sense. But yeah, I think I've nattered on enough about it. Curse words. Let's bloody put them up there on the list.
Let's blooming do that.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of curse words.
Profanity.
Profanity. I like a profane thing. Yeah, this is going to be hard to talk about, I think.
But it can make people sad around you. Like, you can be offended. You may offend without meaning to necessarily offend.
Really?
Yeah.
I think you should be aware of your surroundings and you should understand who you're talking to and whether they're likely to be offended or not.
But you're worried about queuing at the bus stop and getting your hair cut because you didn't know what to say to people, but yet you're not worried about swearing.
Well, I tend to only swear in front of people I know. If I find myself doing it in front of people I don't know, I've usually gone mad and regret it immediately afterwards because I feel like an idiot.
I would say curse words can be a double-edged sword. There's some negatives to curse words. They're the kind of thing you have to sort of be aware of how to use. I mean, I think we've all probably met a person that sort of has inserted it into every second word they say. And
Sat in front of someone on a bus and uses it every second word.
Pretty much. And it is like in its own way infuriating. And I also, you don't want to overuse curse words, or as I think South Park made a thing about, like, it loses its power in a sense.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel like you kind of have to almost have an understanding how appropriate it is. That when you're a kid, you always sort of feel that's one of the sort of first things you can sort of do that's like
sort
a
of
bit naughty. Kind of.
Sort of like a power in a way. They have a bit of power, probably not as much as they used to, and in certain circles they don't really have power, but you've got to use your powers responsibly. If you have the power to shock someone, you can't really just go around doing it for no reason all the time, I guess. I didn't used to swear at all. I went through a big long phase of not swearing, not really as a matter of principle, just because I didn't. I felt weird about it, but now I do sometimes. I said a swear on the first episode of this podcast, in fact. We're not bleeping them on this one. I considered it, but we're all grown up, so we can probably handle a bit of effing and jeffing. So if anyone wants to actually swear, then feel free.
You're alright, it's fine.
Okay. Oh, okay.
As Euan pointed out, there is something good about a release, having a way of going and getting it all out when something goes terribly wrong.
The right swear word in a very well-placed way can be very effective.
So, swear or curse words, whichever you want to. Profanity.
On the list. Let's see.
Where would you put it?
It's pretty important to certain extent. The thing is like, it's so... A lot of people have used them so badly in the past, I guess.
And I'm assuming, not to make it more serious or anything, I'm assuming we're not including like really bad like
you mean
epithets,
slurs
and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think that's its own thing.
I kind of feel like it is as well. It's not really swearing exactly.
Yeah, we're getting into a whole different territory here, but basically
just trying to narrow the scope so we know what we're talking about here.
Yeah, so just profanity and curse words and that thing. Where it would go, it's quite important. Maybe below Berlin.
Whoa, that's high up.
That's high.
It's quite important.
That's more important than this.
Maybe below compasses. I think compasses are better overall.
Okay.
But curse words are still pretty important. I mean, I probably use curse word more than compasses in my life, so.
Oh, that's true. But I also probably use Cocoa Pops more than swear words.
But when you need to use a compass, it's probably more important that you're able to.
I don't know.
Than when you want to swear.
I mean, I think that certain swear words at certain times can be quite.
Okay.
It can be a really useful tool in certain circumstances. So
Okay.
A bit like porridge.
A bit like. Again, it's very tough. I think we're all going to need to come together and work out where to put this. But yeah, just at the moment, let's say below compass.
Okay.
Oh,
I'd put it way.
I think that's
down
very,
from there.
very high.
No, fair enough.
I think breakfast in bed kind of area.
Yeah.
Curse words.
Same, yeah.
Curse words and
American
breakfast
radio
in bed.
area, breakfast in bed. Yeah.
I might agree with that maybe, but as a compromise, maybe we could put it a little higher. Just because
Okay.
I think they're better than party balloons at least.
I think everything's better than potty balloons, so I'll certainly go with you on that.
There we go.
But
But not
think
as good as Cocoa Pop.
we
could
might
put
have
them-
explained before party balloons are in the wrong place.
Okay, we could put them under Cocoa Pops and above party balloons.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
good. That's a good
So
place.
were we saying profanity, swear words?
Yeah, profanity.
Profanity.
I think concept.
Yeah, it's a concept. Which is distracting because profanity is a funny looking word. It sounds like a creature, like a manatee.
It fucking does.
Hello, profanity. Fuck off.
Anyway,
Oh, profanity.
moving on. I have a thing. I better do it now because it's not a good thing to end this section on.
Let's have your thing.
It's a boring thing. We'll only take a minute probably. My thing is a game on my phone called Word Twist. And I've been playing it in every free moment I have for like probably a week, more than a week now, and I want it out of my life. So I
What
brought
happens?
I brought it so that I could talk about it. Basically, it's just very addictive. It's an anagram-based game where you get a set of 6 letters. You have to make as many words out of those 6 letters as you can in 2 minutes. And if you find a 6-letter word, then you get to carry on and your score carries over. If you don't find a 6-letter word in time, then you lose all your score and that's the end of your game. And it's very, very addictive and it's well made, but it's one of those things that I just want to stop doing because it eats up time. Occasionally I'll find it something like this where it just is a way of making time disappear more than anything else. I'm not exactly enjoying it, I'm just doing it because it's easy and it gives my brain a little bit of a buzz of achievement, fake achievement, because I'm not actually achieving anything. I'm just sitting there listening to something like a podcast and just mindlessly tapping away on my phone for hours on end. So I just wanted to say all that and get it out of my system, and I kind of want to delete it from my phone. I'm going to delete it from my phone.
Oh,
Live.
he's live
There we
leaping
go.
from his phone.
He's doing this.
Well done, Alex.
Here we are.
We're here for you.
You can do it.
Okay, so the game is Word Twist. I recommend it if you want to make time disappear. Otherwise,
Oh, there it goes.
There it goes.
I would
That's last
Okay.
I would advise not downloading it. It's kind of good though. It's kind of I deleted it.
There we
So
go.
it's
It's gone.
so that's below Piers Morgan.
No. I don't think it deserves to be that low because it's a fine game. One thing I'll say against it, in a more objective way, is I've already had quite a few repeat words, but that's probably just because I've been playing it for hours. So
How many 6-letter words are there?
there's quite a lot actually. I would probably put it fairly low, just because it's not because it's bad, but because it's eaten my time and I'm never getting that time back. And I'm more aware as I get older of my own mortality and the just ticking clock that's always there in the back of everything. So I would put it probably under Loose Change in the Streets, maybe, because Loose Change in the Streets still
Gives you a bit of money.
gives you a bit of money. Word Twist.
Positive
I mean, Did word twist, we just say like it's kind of a okay brain exercise?
Yeah.
I don't know, because it's not.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel like effort, and my thought is if it doesn't feel like effort, it's probably not really exercising your brain that much.
Did you learn any words you didn't already know?
Not really. They're all pretty common words from what I've seen.
Okay. I mean, there is something like to be said that certain stuff it can make time pass quicker.
Yeah, if you
useful.
want to,
if you need like bus rides or that.
Yeah, exactly. Again, I will recommend it if you want to make time pass, but
in moderation.
Yeah. Anyone else got an opinion? Or
Okay, so down there with.
Well, I mean, it must be better than some other games. At least it's slightly educational in that you're doing.
Probably better than Candy Crush.
Probably better than putting six colours into the right.
Yeah, Candy Crush is another sort of game that I would play in that same way. Although I quit it fairly quickly because I realised it would eat my life if I didn't. So
it's a bit like finding loose or having to find loose change, and it's a bit like when a dog follows you and it isn't your dog. I think down there.
I've not played it.
For these games.
Can't say. So.
But you know the type of game.
I think I know.
I think we all probably have a game of a similar kind. I think I have one that involves popping bubbles and balloons and things that I do similar things with.
Is everyone okay with me putting it there then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That
underneath
sounds
list change in the street, above when a dog follows you.
And it's number 21 on the list.
Okay.
Which makes it my turn, I think.
Yes.
So I think this week I will bring gift wrapping.
Ooh.
As the thing I think we should put on the list. Gift wrapping, of course. Nice to receive a present when it's been gift wrapped. Problem to have to throw the gift wrapping away.
Yes.
Problem to have to gift wrap things for people. One of the big problems I find that people don't seem to take into account, you need different gift wrapping if you're giving a birthday present or a Christmas present.
Yes.
So you need to keep
that
2
was
rolls
my
of
vision.
paper at least in your house.
And if you have a Secret Santa, you need
Exactly.
different again.
Exactly. You have to know where your gift wrapping is at any one time, and you have to be able to gift wrap. So you need to know where your sellotape is. You need to know where your scissors are. There's lots of problems. Lots and lots and lots of problems. Comments, people.
I like gift wrapping. I like because it's part of Christmas. Like wrapping up the present is quite. It's like
tradition.
Yeah, because you get to go through all the presents you got for people and like go,
Yeah.
oh yeah, look, this is for this person. You do a nice little thing.
There's
on the
something
outside.
satisfying about when you've done it and you look at all the presents
Yeah.
you've got for people and you're like, this is a good lot of stuff.
Like a nice
I've made an
message.
effort here, I guess.
Something romantic about it.
And you can get bows and ribbons.
I mean, get a bit more special as well. I think.
Yeah,
The
it's
gift
more of a
wrapping's more
surprise.
special, yeah.
It's good. The unwrapping is dead fun, so you want to give that to someone else. Like make it a magical present.
But what if you wrap things up and then forget which thing is which and give the present to the wrong person?
That's horrendous.
What-
That's the worst
That
thing you could ever
has
imagine.
happened.
Is that a thing you would comment on?
I have done that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I've done that. In embarrassing ways. Yeah,
Oh,
quite
dear.
embarrassing way. Yeah.
Oh,
I
dear.
bought one of my friends a saucy bubble bath, and I bought my dad
That's the best
some
combination.
shaving foam, and I got the two mixed up. So my friend texted me to say, "Why have you bought me shaving foam?" And
Interesting.
I literally was like slow motion going, "No!" across the room trying to get to the present before my dad unwraps it. No! Yeah, I was
That's
too
the
late.
best.
Yeah, he was like, "What's this?" And I was like, "Oh!"
Well, just for that story, gift wrapping should go police if you were not.
Yeah.
For the hilarious
Yes, that has
situations it
happened.
can create.
Yes, it was.
I'm not against gift wrapping as a thing. I just think it's a lot of hard work, and I question how useful it is, really. And I think if we could all just agree to give each other things in the nice bags you can get now, like you would if it was a bottle of wine, but if you just put everything
In bags.
into something like that, some kind of bag, just sellotape the top. If everybody just agreed to do that, then
Yeah.
you can swap the bags back and forth, because once you've opened the bag, you can then reuse the bag next time you give a present to
That's
someone else.
true.
Try and not give people back
Wrapping
the same
papers.
bag they gave you. But if we could all agree to do that, then I think the world would be a lot better.
It's quite a practical solution you suggest there.
You would still
get
have
the-
to
the
put a
surprise.
naming or something on it to make sure that people's
Yeah.
gifts don't get mixed
Yeah,
up.
maybe.
Still need that to happen.
I do like fondling wrapped gifts. like that people have given me and wonder what they are though.
Giving them a shake.
Yeah, give them a little shake. Wonder what the noise that they're making is. Wonder about the texture. I mean, there's a certain amount of suspense. I actually get quite nervous opening presents people have got me, just because I'm worried, especially if they're watching me as I do it. There's a certain level of pressure. Like, have I already got this? Am I going to have to pretend to like this?
Be sure and not look disappointed.
Yeah. And usually it's fine. I just always aware of all the possibilities.
So I think it's generally a good thing, but it has its drawbacks.
Yeah,
We've a few things on the list like that already. I mean, I know porridge is one of those. It's a good thing with its drawbacks of having to do the washing up, and obviously we know breakfast in bed is a good thing, but has its drawbacks. Maybe somewhere between those two, I think. Cocoa Pop's good thing, drawbacks, you know. So we're talking strictly mid-table, I think, for the
probably
for the gift wrapping.
I mean, so many party balloons would make sense.
Yeah, but party balloons are in the wrong place.
All right, well, Mark, where would you put it?
I would like to put it just above breakfast in bed. I think I would like to see. I would like to see gift wrapping there.
Cool.
I'm fine with that.
That would
I think that's about right, actually. Yeah.
So that is the end of our Bring a Thing segment, which means it's time for the next one, Head to Head. Today on Head to Head we have two age-old rival things as always, and this week they are new book smell versus old book smell. Now, these are two things that I like, both of them, but in different ways. They have different feelings to them. New book smell is a sort of sterile, gluey smell that probably you shouldn't breathe too deeply in because it's probably just glue. Probably just sniffing glue when it comes down to it, but it's nice anyway. Old book smell. Old books have a character to them. They, depending on where they've been, who's owned them before, you get a more musty, sort of rich odour off them, and it can be quite sort of charming in its own way. But I just wondered if we could work out once and for all which is the better smell of those two.
I've smelled a few old books that smell stale a wee bit, so I'm going slightly towards the new books, which you kind of majority of the time guaranteed like quite a nice smell, while sometimes an old book smell.
I would favour the new book smell myself. I think an old book smell is much more likely to be actually unpleasant because it has an air of dampness about it, mustiness, which sometimes isn't that nice. The new smell, as you say, glue, obviously great, fantastic smell, and print as well. Obviously smells nice, and a nice clean paper, bleach. All that good stuff.
Any opinions, Val?
Yeah, there is some kind of sense of history there with that old book, isn't there? You feel like it's been somewhere. It knows it almost like it knows more than you do.
So you can smell all the places it's been.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, there's more variety in old book smells because they absorb the smells of what's around them. Once they reach a certain age, books become really beautiful and exciting, and you can breathe them in, and they're all fun. And once they get to a certain level of crumpled, and new books are nice. There's an area in between where books are not like not that great because you've bent them a bit, and they're not old, but they're not new. At the opposite ends of the spectrum, they have a very nice smell.
The opposite
very
of the sweet spot, kind of.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what it is about books, but yeah.
Super duper
I miss the smell of books. Now I have a Kindle. I don't smell it as much as I used to.
What's the smell of a Kindle?
It doesn't really smell of anything.
I bet when it was new, it had that new electronic smell.
Actually, I think it did.
And there's a bit of polythene, and there's glue there as well, I bet.
Yeah, that's true.
You can always go to an antique bookshop, I guess, or browse around.
Yeah.
So when the man isn't watching, you just have a little sniff.
I love sniffing books. I always do it, and it might be a problem. I don't know.
So it seems like Alex favours the old book smell.
I don't know if I do. I think I like both of them kind of equally, which is why I brought it here, just to get an opinion on it.
And what's your instinct, Val?
I think I prefer old.
Prefer old. I think I prefer new, and I think Euan's going for new as well.
So by a number of people, new wins.
New is slightly ahead.
Yeah.
New book smell.
Okay, that's fair enough. I can live with that. But yeah, I don't know where they go in the list. I like them both.
Do we have any smells on the list already?
I don't think we do. No.
Best smell.
I'd say I think new book smells better than porridge.
It's definitely better than the smell of porridge.
Yeah.
That's porridge as a whole.
That would make new book smell better than Cocoa Pops. I think I must like Cocoa Pops.
Cocoa Pops smell funny. You're going to put the new smell above porridge, you're going to put the old one just below the new one? Or the?
I'd probably put the old one a bit lower down, because I want to separate them a little bit.
I think I agree with the new book smell above porridge, which makes it not quite as good as Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, which I think is accurate.
Which, I mean, had a new book smell at some point, but won't do anymore.
I would put new book smell down here, down with breakfast in bed.
Oh.
I think breakfast in bed smells better.
Well, on the first day it does, but I mean, once it's been there for a while, I don't think it smells good at all.
But then, if you leave it long enough, it comes back
becomes
around.
old.
There's an old breakfast in bed smell. It's just lovely. Okay, so maybe we bump it down a notch or two, just based on Val's indifference to it.
That's fine. It is only just a smell to some extent.
So does it smell better than the Loch Ness Monster?
I mean, I hate to keep playing the you don't exist card, but the Loch Ness Monster, New Book Smell's given me more joy, I think, than the Loch Ness Monster.
I think the Loch Ness Monster is going to regret having been put on this list at all, because it keeps getting...
Everything needs to be on the list, though.
Well,
yeah.
So
everything that exists does, yes.
Okay. And everything doesn't exist as well.
Oh.
Okay, so I'm going to put a New Book Smell under Porridge above Loch Ness Monster, and then we need to put Old Book Smell somewhere below that. I mean, I like Old Book Smell quite a bit. I might put it above Profanity under Cocoa Pops.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was thinking exactly just above Profanity.
I think it's such a good.
But I mean, yeah, but thinking that through again, Profanity is good.
A good swear compared to an Old Book Smell.
Okay, just after Profanity then.
So above Party Balloons.
Don't think Mark rejected that at all.
Okay.
So.
Okay, I'll put it there. So there we go. That's head to head done with. Woo! Now we move on to everyone's favourite, the thing about that.
Think about that.
Think about that.
Thank you. I'll use that. This week's The Thing About That is all about drinks.
Ooh.
And that can mean anything you want it to mean, but preferably actually about drinks.
I will start you off with coffee pods.
Oh, coffee pods.
Specifically pods of coffee. These are good because they give you a good way of producing an individual coffee without too much mess, and it's going to be a nice coffee, and it might be like one you get in your favourite shop, and it might have extra froth on it, or it might have caramel in it, or it might have whatever else you want. But you need to buy the right machine, and you need to buy the right pod for your machine, and this is a perennial concept with me, I think. It's a bit of a faff. And it's really bad for the environment, I think. All of these plastic pods coming out the other end that we don't really understand what to do with. But we do get nice coffee. So, coffee pods, what do you think?
I mean, I'm probably one of the people that does make coffee quite a lot, and we've got the blender here, so we go the bean way.
You do it properly.
We go do it properly. And to be honest, part of it is the fact that...
The right way.
Yeah, the right way.
Yeah.
I don't know, there's something almost like alchemical about it all, sort of just like grinding stuff and pouring it in and getting measures and that kind of thing. Well, I feel like the coffee pod, you're missing out on a lot of almost fun.
But I think
almost fun.
Yeah, I think your way is more of a faff, because you've got to get the right amount of beans, you've got to measure it exactly, you've got to put it in, but somebody's already done that for you in the pod.
Yeah. But to a certain extent, someone's also done that for me in like a sort of instant coffee sachet or some of that kind of stuff. So just because it's like takes away all the faff doesn't mean it's not also you're also missing a lot of kind of positives as well to it. And again, like you were saying about like the pods at the end of it all for the environment, ain't a great thing.
No, it's not. It's not a good thing. I always feel bad every time I make one. I feel like I want to go out and plant a tree immediately because I've done a terrible thing.
Sounds like the Coca-Cola dilemma to me.
Yeah.
I don't drink coffee, but James and Laura have a coffee pod machine which is quite futuristic, which I like. But apart from that, I don't really massively see the point of it. But maybe I just don't understand coffee.
I've heard that ordering coffee pods can be more inconvenient than any other kind of ordering of coffee. Is it Nespresso that is famous for doing it?
Nespresso is one.
That you have to like do either through their website or Amazon next one. Well,
Tassimo is another. We use that one. You can at least get those in the supermarket.
Oh, we can get in the shop is a bit better than
but they're often really expensive, and occasionally they're not that expensive. So when they're not that expensive, you have to buy loads, and then you start using it, and then you feel really bad and have to go out and plant a tree, and you think, I'm never buying any more of these again. I'm putting this machine in the bin. This is far too complicated.
Why you live in that forest, Mark.
I know. It's another thing making my life difficult while pretending to make my life better.
Yes.
Which I kind of resent.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I do like them though.
Yeah, I like them as well.
It's nice coffee. It's quite simple, quite easy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have them very often.
We did get some hot chocolate for ours as well, because they don't have to do coffee, obviously, in a coffee pod machine.
That is futuristic.
But the hot chocolate is horrible.
Oh wow, that's not like
because it's UHT milk, and to use the immortal line from Father Ted, there's no demand for that because it's shite.
Coffee pods.
Very good.
Where would you say?
Well, again, in the middle of the list. With the
I thought you were going to put everything at the bottom.
I know, but I've come to this recording with some middling things. I thought this would be better, but it's not helping. Okay, on balance, do I like this or loathe it more? I don't know. I'm straight down the middle with this. I'm conflicted. Some days it's down there with saying goodbye on the phone. It's a thing I really have a problem with. Other times, I'd rather have a coffee than a pangolin, to be honest. And I think that's better for the pangolins, frankly. I mean, I don't know about the rest of the environment, but
Pangolin might get its snout caught in a discarded coffee.
It could.
That'd be a tragic.
It could. That would be a bad thing, and that would be entirely my fault. So, I mean, you said it was like the Coca-Cola dilemma, and I think it is, and I think the Coca-Cola, this is just demonstrating that Coca-Cola's in the right place on the list, about halfway between those two things. I prefer coffee to Coca-Cola, but that's just me. So we could put it near there. We could put coffee pods next to the Loch Ness Monster, similar to New Book smell. Coffee smell is better than New Book smell, but we're not talking about coffee smell. We're talking about coffee pods and the whole making the coffee using this easy method that we feel bad about.
It pollutes the air.
So
and again, New Book smell is coming from trees being trimmed down. So.
How about we put it next to Coca-Cola, because it's very similar.
Yeah,
how about that? We put it in number 15
Okay.
and knock Coca-Cola down.
I'm okay
with that.
Just above Coca-Cola.
Okay.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Mark.
Good job.
I can go next.
Okay.
Alright, I'm bringing cocktails to the table for the drinks section.
Oh,
Cocktails, yes. I kind of like cocktails, not just like as a drink to actually have, but like as a whole sort of thing. I think I mentioned in the past about sort of coffee making, that there's an alchemical process. I also think with cocktails there's kind of you're almost like mixing things, and you're sort of doing a kind of fun alcoholic chemistry in a sense. So it's quite nice. Like the different varieties of like cocktails out there in the world. There was actually a point at which I actually got kind of like really interested in cocktails and just bought a bunch of cocktail books that like just reading the different like kinds there are out there sort of things and all different mixtures. They're not always alcoholic. There's also non-alcoholic cocktails out there if you don't like alcohol, so that's always quite good. There's something sort of fun about them. Like one time I had a Halloween party where I made a alcoholic and non-alcoholic punch, which that's in the actual cocktail sort of subgroup, I guess. It just makes it a bit more kind of, you can buy like a normal drink, like either beer or juice or that kind of stuff, and it's pretty sort of standard. You just like buy it, you pour it, that kind of stuff. It's almost the point where it's kind of boring just having just this drink that's like already ready and done with kind of thing. Well, cocktails, you kind of like, if you're feeling you want to do something a bit more special or a bit more interesting, you're actually like taking different parts and pieces from all different kind of things and like sprucing it all together and creating something that can taste quite like interesting and unusual sort of thing. There's also a thing about cocktails which I really like, is that some of them have actually like a story behind them all. Like there's a famous sort of story about how, what's it called again, the drink? It's the one with the tomato juice. My brain. Bloody Mary, that's it. Bloody Mary, thank you, Val. Where it was invented for Ernest Hemingway in his favourite sort of like Paris bar, because he was quite a drinker and he wanted to hide the fact that he drank during the day sort of thing from his wife, so he'd asked the barman to invent something that was sort of covered up, so he got this sort of orange sort of tomato juice and put some peppers in there and that kind of stuff, and there we go. Apparently it's an urban legend, but still it's a fun story at least. So yeah, cocktails. Would you all like one? Also, the name's a bit weird, to be honest. If you think about it, it does sound a bit odd. But apart from that, they're all quite.
And a lot of the ones they have in bars like have names that are deliberately embarrassing to have to ask for, which means that I could never ask for one anyway. So even if I drank,
Not all of them. Long Island iced tea.
Yeah, some of them are okay, but
the non-alcoholic ones usually don't. They're pretty safe.
Slippery nipple.
Slippery nipple. If you want to be a bit cheeky and sort of rude and giggly, if you're that kind of person, you could order it.
Fuzzy navel.
Yeah. Sex on the beach.
Yeah.
That's all a bit enforced fun, isn't it?
The classics aren't silly, ridiculous names. They're quite. I don't know. We've got a classiness to them almost.
Yeah.
Harvey Wallbanger.
So yeah.
That's a classic, not
Fox.
a rude one.
You have much more of a glass half full attitude to.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, thank you. To the whole like faffing about, as Mark would probably have it, of making a cocktail. I mean, this is when you were describing it being boring just to get by some juice and drink it. And you were like excited about the idea of having to pour a thing. I mean, mix lots of things together. Whereas that would be a negative for some people.
Yeah, I can totally understand the convenience of just like having a drink straight away to go, and that's why the majority of the time I'm sure people don't make cocktails all the time, and I can totally understand that. But I'm more saying from like, I don't know, if you want to do something different, if you want to kind of... Also, majority of people that drink cocktails, they'll order them from a bartender who will make it special in front of them and even make a performance of it kind of thing. So that's the thing. That's usually where cocktails have come from. But if you want to do it yourself as well, you can do it.
It's a bit like the difference between eating a slice of bread and eating a sandwich, I suppose, because you put all the flavours together by getting a load of drinks that taste horrible by themselves and joining them up.
Somehow magically it works.
A lot of the cocktail ingredients actually you would never drink on their own.
Never.
It's a feature of some of the spirits, and certainly a lot of the ones they use in a lot of the cocktails. I don't mind a cocktail. Do regard them as a bit of a faff. I like to see myself as a fairly straightforward kind of guy, so I'd like to sit there with a beer. I'd like the beer to have all of the flavours in that I would like straight off the bat. I shouldn't need to be adding any more flavours. But you know, sometimes I don't mind a Long Island iced tea. I do like a Long Island iced tea, actually. Have you got any Long Island iced tea? I don't know. I could be persuaded either way on this, I think.
Yeah, cocktails are good, usually. They can taste surprisingly non-alcoholic when they are quite alcoholic. It's the only thing you've got to be careful of.
That is the thing. It can be a little dangerous.
Yeah, a bit deceptive as a
also,
cocktail.
if your ingredients are of fairly low quality, you can disguise that fact as well by joining the right ones together.
Very true.
I bet that was why they were originally invented.
It's probably a factor in some of them.
They also often contain fruit, which is a good way to get vitamins.
Yes.
Yeah. Healthy.
I would recommend it's your main way to do it. But
Tequila Sunrise is one of your 5 a day, is it? Is that what
Yeah. Sometimes you get a brolly.
Do you?
They're quite fun to have.
Yeah, a little umbrella or
cocktail.
Yeah.
They're useless though. Have you ever tried using one in the rain?
Oh yeah.
Just made of paper.
Do you like the ones also like you get some of those olive or the glazed cherries? That could be nice.
Yeah, or like stuff around the top.
You can get beer cocktails as well, actually.
Yeah, you
just thinking about what I was saying a few minutes ago, but you can get beer cocktails and you know
half and half.
Why not exactly?
A dirty Corona.
If you must.
Okay.
No, probably all right.
Yeah, it was quite fun trying a few new things.
Where would you put them, Euan, on our list?
On a list. I do think that cocktails are better than porridge.
Whoa. Okay.
I think porridge is an okay staple, but I don't think it's the most interesting of the foods or drinks out there. So I'd say cocktails are have more kind of interesting stuff going on than porridge.
Not as good as the Eurovision Song Contest.
I wouldn't say it's as good as the Eurovision Song Contest, of course. Definitely not going to do that. But it would be nice having a cocktail party with the Eurovision Song Contest. So
it's the only way to do it.
Exactly. Is it better than Prisoner of Azkaban?
That's the hard one. I'd say yes, actually. You got more variety of cocktails.
Yeah.
Whereas once it's written, it's set. Whereas a cocktail can be anything you want it to be.
True.
Any time.
And a cocktails you do like, if you go to the good bars that don't mess you around with that kind of stuff, you can also have that kind of cool like way the cocktail's made in front of you where it's backflip and all the stuff, stuff getting set on fire in front of you. Prisoner of Azkaban never did that, so...
No, not in the book, anyway.
Not in the book.
Yeah.
So I'm going to put it above Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
That's what I'd say.
That's agreed, I think.
Yeah.
That's
okay,
fine.
cool. Do you want to go next, Val? Or
cool. I've got choice for 2. Let me think. Okay, I'm going to do a drink-related item.
Cool. Okay.
Straws.
Straws. Yay.
So they have pluses and minuses. Straws.
They do.
And so sometimes I do quite like a straw. It's quite fun. It's particularly a bendy straw is quite fun. It always makes you feel like you're a bit posher if you've got a straw. But actually, they don't really have much of a practical use. You can drink perfectly fine without a straw. I like them in some ways in that when I was little, I used to have a bendy, curly, whirly straw. That was good fun, because then you can sort of see your drink go up. Yeah, different colours. That's good. You can express your personality with your straw. And sometimes you can get 2 straws. You don't have to just have the 1 straw. Yeah, double straw.
True.
Yeah. And I suppose arguably they do have a bit of a practical use. I mean, imagine you were really thirsty and your hands were covered in cookie dough or paint. You were just painting something and you needed a drink. Well, that would be what you could use a straw for. You wouldn't need to get muck all over your glass. You could just sip your drink. Mm-hmm. Or if your drink was really, really, really far away, you could join lots of straws together and get a sip of drink.
Yep.
No.
Have you tested that theory? I don't know how practical that would be.
I've seen it been done on film, maybe, but I've seen it been done before.
Okay.
And then straws have other uses apart from in drinks in terms of craft making things. They're quite, they're quite useful to make stuff out. Straws, handy thing to have. Straws.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good summary. I don't know what to add to that. Yeah, I have a distinct memory of one of my early thoughts as a child being about the relative benefits of the bendy straws that have a joint in them and the straight straws, because I had problems with both of them. The straight straws could sink right into the carton that you were drinking from, because I used to drink from juice cartons a lot. And you could lose it in there and not be able to get it out, which is terrible. But the bendy ones, one thing, they dribble sometimes, and another thing, sometimes the joint breaks a little bit, and then you've got an air bubble in your straw and you can't drink properly through it, and that's infuriating. But yeah, overall I'm a fan of straws. Yeah. I think they're better for your teeth if you drink through a straw.
Oh, good point. Yeah. Of course, you don't have to just suck on a straw. You can blow. You can do the bubbles in your drink. Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. You can use it as a snorkel. Yeah. It probably wouldn't work that well, but you could try.
Yeah. Don't try this at home.
Poor man's snorkel, I guess.
Yeah, they're weird straws. I haven't really thought about them for a while, but you're kind of creating a vacuum, are you, in your mouth, and then the liquid is rushing up to fill it. Is that how it works?
I guess so.
You're the science person, Val.
Yeah, it's sucking the air.
They're quite. You don't think about the science of them, but it's actually quite sort of strange that they work when you think about it. Any idea where we put straws?
Val.
I think straws are perfectly good at what they do, but I think what they do is basically pointless.
Yeah.
So I don't think they deserve to be very high.
Yeah.
I think the world would manage perfectly well without straws.
Do you know, it's what it's like. It's like gift wrapping.
It's worse than gift wrapping. Worse than gift wrapping.
Where's gift wrapping again? Oh, it's down.
Gift wrapping's down at number 23.
Yeah.
It's a bit like word twist.
Yeah.
Perfectly good at what it does. Doesn't need to be done.
Ultimately a waste of time.
Yeah.
Yes, okay.
Maybe a bit better than word twist.
Yeah, I mean, if you have a very thick milkshake, it's easier to drink with a straw than trying to pour it.
Even easier to drink with a spoon.
They can be a good tulip points. I'd say it's probably between breakfast and bed and loose change.
Yeah, I agree. Somewhere around there.
Okay.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're all agreed on that.
Cool.
Okay, so my thing about drinks is freshly squeezed lemon juice. Now, a lot of people don't like it, but I really like it. But that's because I have a weird thing with my taste buds where I like things that are so sour that other people hate them. A lot of my friends really hate sour things, and freshly squeezed lemon juice is about as sour as you can get, to the point that it does make your face curl up like a hedgehog when you drink it, but it's still delicious.
Or pangolin.
Yeah, that's true. It curls up like a pangolin. It feels like something you shouldn't be drinking, but it's still kind of delicious in its own slightly painful way. It's a pain to make because you've got to squeeze lots of lemons, and I haven't made it for ages because of that. I was going to make some today just to refresh my memory, but I didn't. And that proves that it's more trouble than it's worth. I don't know. Anyone else actually like it here, or am I the only one weird enough to like it?
I'm not sure I've ever specifically drank lemon juice.
I don't think it's something that a lot of people drink, because I think it's generally considered to be too sour to enjoy.
Sort of like it's generally an ingredient or a waste product, depending on what you're doing.
I'm sure we've all as a kid sort of like bitten into like a slice of lemon from a drink.
Yeah.
And sort of taste that bit, and it's like...
But when you squeeze out the juice, it's even like stronger than that. It's just overpowering.
Especially if it's like a couple of lemons you're putting in there, that's got to go. Yeah.
I've been known to suck on a piece of lemon from a drink and not hate it.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean, that's quite good for me. I'm not brilliant with fruit at the best of times.
I'd say freshly squeezed lemon, I'll probably never drink.
Okay.
I might try it.
Confidently, I'll probably never drink it.
If I can get hold of any lemons. Were you responsible for the general shortage of lemons in both of my local supermarkets on Saturday when I was trying to buy a lemon?
Maybe, yeah.
There were none.
Oh.
It really soured the mood, didn't it?
I'm still bitter about that.
Something to do with yellow.
Sorry, Gavin, we're stealing your jokes from your film here.
I had a lemon mixed with a bit of sugar and ice. That's quite nice. It's a bit like lemonade.
Yeah, you can make
lemonade.
But anything that you add to lemon juice is basically watering it down, so it's not the pure.
Yeah.
It's an endurance test, really. You used to get those sweets like super sour, gobstopper or something that you put in your mouth and try and hold it there, and it was like so sour that you were supposed to not be able to have it in your mouth for that long. And I used to love those.
So what we're talking about is lemonade made with no water and no sugar.
Yeah,
basically. Is right.
Lemon juice. Oof.
I don't. Maybe I'm just weird.
Good on pancakes.
I'm just weird. I just wanted to bring it to see if anyone else actually ever tried it, because I don't know if it's a thing that most people have actually even bothered to try.
I think it's actually a health thing. I think people have drank pure lemon juice for health dietary reasons, that kind of stuff.
You can have it in water.
I've definitely seen it in a show in which a woman's been sort of squeezing lemons. It's usually not a fitness kind of boost sort of exercise thing. So
okay, well,
I think it does exist.
I think I'm probably the only one with much of an opinion on it, and I like it, but I don't have it that often, so it would probably be incongruous to put it too high up when I can't be bothered to make it most days. So
you probably need a straw with it. Protect your teeth.
Maybe.
So where'd you put it, Alex?
I might put it maybe above gift wrapping, below American radio stations. Anyone have a problem with that?
That's high.
You think that's high?
A little.
I could put it lower, I don't mind, considering I don't think anyone else I know likes it at all.
Somewhere near
unless the best or worst. Yeah.
Somewhere near straws, sure.
Maybe just below straws, above the straws.
So it's not as good as breakfast in bed, is that? That's the difference between those two positions.
I still think breakfast in bed would be better.
Could you have lemon juice with breakfast in bed?
Could.
It would wake you up.
It would.
That's true. It's got benefit for that.
Okay, I'll put it below straws, grudgingly.
How many lemons do you have in a
it takes quite a lot to make a whole glass of it. Probably 4 or 5 just to make a cup.
Good vitamin C though.
Yes, and it does give you a bit of a stomachache, so it's probably fine. It's probably fine down there, to be honest.
There's so many
sour
things.
It's very acidic.
There.
It's very acidic.
I mean, what's that? The chewits, the really sour chewits.
Oh, those are awesome.
Those
I like anything ridiculously sour. That's our list, I think, for today.
Wow.
We have brought all our things. We now have how many? We have 34 things on the list now.
That's good progress.
That is good progress, and we need to do our last couple of things. First of all, nudges and grudges. If anyone has any nudges or grudges that they would like to apply to the list.
Yes, party balloons is too high.
Oh, leave them party balloons alone.
Okay. I think
just
Mark has made his
Mark sort of starring in every episode of American versus Everything until it's the bottom of the list.
22.
I don't even know where it is anymore, but wherever it is, it's too high.
Oops, it's at 22 now, under American radio stations.
Excellent.
Good progress, Mark.
Anyone else want to make any adjustments?
I think Nessie could go up,
Ooh.
but I realise that might be controversial.
Oh, above the new book smell?
Yeah.
I would support you there.
Okay, you can do that if you want.
Nessie's good.
Okay, Nessie goes up above New Book Smell.
She's a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anything you want to do, Euan? Have a look through the list.
I'm nudging profanity up. It's going above Cocoa Pops.
Okay. I won't fight that because it does separate Coca-Cola and Cocoa Pops again.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Fuck's sake.
And what will I do? I feel bad about putting word twist so low, so I'm going to nudge it up above list changes.
Don't be downloading it again.
Yeah, I won't. It's out of my life now, but I feel bad because it's not a bad game. Yeah, so there we go.
Yeah.
that is our list, and that just leaves us time for the order of things, where we read through everything in the world in order from best to worst. This is going to be completely undoable soon. But okay, who wants to begin?
Shall we do 5 each at a time or something like that? Because it's getting long now.
Sure. Be faster, just like
it would.
properly go faster.
Shall I start from the top?
Yeah, go on.
Okay, top 5. Water, NASA, New York is number 3, City of Berlin is number 4, and Compass is number 5.
Then it's 1984, Switzerland, pangolins, having good teeth, and the Eurovision Song Contest.
Then it's cocktails, Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban, porridge, the Loch Ness Monster, and new book smell.
Then we've got number 16, coffee pods, Coca-Cola, profanity, Cocoa Pops, and old book smell.
Then it's American radio stations, party balloons, gift wrapping, breakfast in bed, and straws.
Then it's freshly squeezed lemon juice, word twist, loose change in the street, when a dog follows you and it isn't your dog, and saying goodbye on the phone.
And the final 4 are getting a haircut, when you're at the bus stop and you don't know whether the person in front of you is getting on the bus, the American tipping system, and Piers Morgan. That's everything in the world so far. There probably is some more stuff, but we'll need another week to think of it.
Yeah.
So we'll see you next week when we will add more stuff to the list. Yeah, I'm recording it tomorrow just to give you a little glimpse. Still a long journey ahead of us. But for now, thank you for joining us. Hope you enjoyed it. And goodbye!
Bye!
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Everything vs. Everything, Accidental Eurovision Special. The panellists were Euan Gilmore, Valerie Mellon, Mark Minto and me, Alex Perry. Visit our website at everythingtheeverything.wordpress.com and subscribe to our RSS feed. We're on iTunes now as well, so if you want to leave a review, that'd be awesome. Anyway, you don't have to. See you next week.